I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be asking friends to become girlfriends. This is probably one of the most popular questions that I get asked a lot because so many guys get in these situations where they'll meet a girl that they really like, and usually right off the bat she'll say, hey, I only have interest in you as just a friend. Or the guy doesn't have the guts to come out and say what he really wants, so he tries to become her friend in hopes that, because in either case, the guy's basically hoping, well, hey, once she gets to really know the real me, then she'll fall for me and fall in love, because, that's the type of shit you see in the movies all the time. And the bottom line is, women either find you attractive or they don't. You either pass their physical attraction tests or you don't. And if you're a guy who's like I once was when I was younger, who's struggling to become successful meeting and dating and interacting with women, what has to happen in order for you to lose your fear of being around women is you have to interact with enough of them. You have to go out on enough dates. You have to seduce enough of them, make love to enough of them to get experience, because repetition is the mother of skill. But like what I did when I was first starting out is I always had this, the myth of the one in my mind. I will find this one perfect girl. Well, the problem is like all along the way there were women that I met that they might necessarily have been exactly what I wanted because I was so really picky. I've always been picky. But what happens is when you pass up on other opportunities or hookups or just practicing your skills is that you don't know what you don't know, because you have to interact with enough of them to lose your fear. Because if you don't do that, when that perfect 10 comes along that you're wanting and you meet her and you have this amazing connection, you're going to fucking blow it. And how do I know? Because I always used to blow it when I was younger because I was simply unprepared, because I didn't have enough experience dating other women to lose my fear of the really super hot ones. Because once you do lose your fear, where you can be in line at a grocery store and just shoot the shit with a really drop-dead gorgeous woman. She may have a ring on her finger, but just interacting and talking and have a normal conversation, it's not going to go anywhere. But just interacting with her gives you experience talking to a beautiful woman, and you realize that, hey, they're just people as well. And so what happens is the difference between the ones that you like but they're not what you really want, and the ones that just knock your fucking socks off, is just the ones that knock your socks off are just a little prettier than the average woman, at least to you, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And so what happens when you become friends with a woman in hopes that eventually she's going to like you is that you're basically setting yourself up you take yourself out of the game completely, because you become so fixated on one person. Days go by, weeks go by, months go by, and sometimes even years go by. I had this experience a lot in my early 20s where I would get hung up on one chick for a year and a half that I'd be friends with, and then I couldn't get to the point where I couldn't take it anymore, and then I reveal my feelings. And not only when I get rejected, the friendship usually ended as well, because the bottom line is my friendship was a fraud. The only reason I had really become friends with her in the first place was because I wanted to date her. I wanted to go out with her. And so the best thing that you can do is, if you're just starting to learn and practice the stuff that I teach in my book, is you got to get out there. And like I said, repetition's the mother of skill. Go to the mall. Practice talking with all kinds of women. Just interacting with them. Because when you're used to talking to many different women, and you've dated a lot, you've seduced a lot of women, you lose your fear. And so it's not a big deal anymore. It's just like breathing. You just, oh, hey, how are you? Wow, you're really amazing. I want you. When are you free this week? Let's meet up for a drink. I want to get to know you. Simple stuff like that. You say right off the cuff, like whatever comes from your heart, what comes naturally. And women will love you for that because you're being direct and you're showing confidence. You don't give a damn about being rejected. As a matter of fact, when a woman you meet and you're really into her and you don't come all unglued, she's going to appreciate that because you don't have any fear of getting rejected. And even if it's not even a thought in your mind. And that's the way you want to approach it. I've got an email here from a guy who has become friends with this girl that he's known her for basically a year and a half. And he's like, I want to ask her to be my girlfriend. Well, he's never been on a date with her yet. And you got to understand, when women go out on a date, especially like first dates, they're thinking, hey, I'm just going to go out and see what happens. But what do most guys do? I mean, what I used to do is I'm thinking, what are our kids going to look like? I'm thinking about all the amazing things that we're going to do when we're together. And that totally gets in the way of just being present in the moment and having a good time. Because love is not serious. Love is playful and fun. And if you haven't dated a woman that you've been friends with and you want to start dating her, and then you say, hey, will you be my girlfriend? I mean, it's totally out of sequence. It's inappropriate for the stage of where you're at. Of course, it's going to make her feel uncomfortable, and she's just going to want to run away from you. So I'm going to read this to you here. He says, hey, Corey, I figured I'd ask you what you think would be the best idea for my situation. I've known a girl for about a year and a half, and we are friends and talk regularly by texting each other since we really aren't close to each other anymore. I asked her if she wanted to hang out shortly after we met, and she said she only saw me as a friend. Well, that's a red flag right there. She's telling you up front, hey, I'm strictly interested in you as a friend, and you've ignored that because you're thinking, forget that. Once she gets to know me, then she'll really dig me. She'll really fall for me. Hey, it happened in my favorite TV show, right? But now it's been a longer period of time, and we have got to know each other and talk to each other a lot more. And so what's happening is you're rationalizing. You're thinking, hey, just because I've known her for all this period of time, that of course she must feel the same way. I'm thinking about asking her to be my girlfriend, but I don't know the best way to do it or what to say to her so it won't make it easy for her to just say no. Well, right there, deep down, you already know she's not giving you any signs, obviously, that she has any kind of interest in you romantically. And it doesn't sound like you talk a lot to this gal. So he goes on to say, I'm thinking about calling her sometime soon, but she is usually busy, so I don't want to interrupt with her. Well, that tells me right there you're probably not very good friends because you feel uncomfortable interrupting her. And that tells me you put this girl on a pedestal and she hasn't earned it. Never put a woman on a pedestal until she earns it through reciprocated mutual interest. I could text her and ask her, but I feel like that is too easy to say no to me, and that isn't a genuine way to ask a girl. Same with Facebook messages. I have thought about asking her if she will Skype me sometime. I feel that would be as close in person as I can get right now. She doesn't live too far away, but we haven't really had time to see each other really since we've both been kind of busy. Well, if you were really important to her and she liked you or had some kind of romantic interest in you, she would be calling you, she'd be texting you more, she'd want to hang out, she'd want to do things, and I don't see any of that from your email here. I'm a nice guy, and I have read your article on nice guys. I could use some help to decide what to say to her to make her consider accepting my proposal to be in a relationship and how I could best do it. Thanks for your help, Joe. Well, you're doing things that are absolutely, totally out of sequence. And asking her to be your girlfriend is inappropriate. I guarantee you she's going to say no, and so you're wasting your time. The best thing, you can't trick a woman or force a woman into becoming your girlfriend. I don't know where you get this idea from, but it's going against reality. And I think your gut's telling you already that she doesn't feel the same way, and you know that, but you want things to be other than they really are. And, you spent a year of your life hung up on this girl. The best thing that you can do is download my book. You can download it to your smartphone, your iPad, your PC, your Mac in under 60 seconds. It's only 99 cents on Amazon. There's a link right on my website. And if you're watching this video on my article, I'll put a link on the page where you can click and go right to Amazon. But you got to download the book and start applying it. And forget about this girl. I wouldn't do anything with her. And when you do hear from her, if she calls you or texts you, just say, hey, I'd like to take you out to dinner. I'd like to go out. I'd like to take you out. And then she repeats I just want to be friends. Just say, well, I have feelings for you. I'm attracted to you, but I'm not interested in just being friends. And so if you're telling me that the feeling is not mutual and you don't want to explore that, then honestly, I think it'd be best for me to spend my time hanging out with somebody who has mutual feelings of interest. So give me a call if you change your mind. And that's all you got to do. But in the meantime, you should be meeting and dating as many different women as you can to hone your skills. And most importantly, so you can start being able to read and determine when a woman really likes you versus when she thinks of you as just a friend. And there's not one thing in here, anywhere in your email, that tells me that she has any interest in you other than a friend. As a matter of fact, that's what she told you from the beginning. You can't go against reality. I mean, women either like you either push their buttons or you don't. That's the bottom line. And so if you find this much the value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the Wibbia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen. If you're watching this video on my website, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you think is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with any and all of your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located on the Wibbia toolbar at the bottom of your screen. And if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, or there's a topic that you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab, which is on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 3 or 4 paragraphs detailing your situation, and give me 3 or 4 days or maybe a week to get back to you with a detailed response, because I got to take care of my paying customers first, and I get just a ton of emails from the internet. I answer them first come, first serve order. And if you'd like to book a paid phone coaching session with me personally, click the Products tab, which is located at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And I'll talk to you soon.